Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week's Torah portion is Bo, from chapters 10 through 13 of the book of Exodus. And it includes the last three of the 10 plagues that God sent against Pharaoh and Egypt to convince Pharaoh to let my people go. And that, of course, is one of the highlights of the Torah portion. Um, but these miracles, as important as they are, and as memorable as they are, of course, we refer to them during our Passover Seders. The Talmud, Rabbah, said, we do not rely on miracles. This is in Tractate Pesachim 64b in the Talmud. We do not rely on miracles. Even though there are miracles all around us, every morning when we wake up, Modeh ani lefanecha, thank you, God, you've returned my soul. And we say the nisim chol yom, there are miracles that we count on for everything, the workings of our body, that we have the ability to see, that we are free, that our steps are firm, that we have the opportunity to think and to learn. All of these actions are not taken for granted in Judaism. We think of them as God's daily miracles that bless our lives. But as Rabbi said, we don't rely on miracles. So I suppose the greatest example of that is when we have at the beginning of next week's Torah portion, when Moses finally starts to lead the children of Israel out, and they come to the very shore of the Sea of Reeds, and they're trying to cross over, and the children of Israel look back and they see Pharaoh charging after them, and the children of Israel say, Moses, what? There weren't enough graves in Egypt that you had to bring us out here to die, to be buried in the wilderness? And so they're giving him the business. And Moses bravely says to them, don't you worry, God will provide. There'll be a miracle, right? And God says to Moses, Mati tzakalai, why are you crying unto me? Why are you praying unto me? This is not a time for prayer or for great speeches. This is the time for you to lift up your staff and to lead the people through the waters to freedom. It's a time for action. And that's what I wanted to focus on. In this week's Torah portion, it is a time of action, not just of miracles. The miracles are from God, but the actions are for us. That's why Rabbi said we don't rely on miracles. We rely on those things that we can exercise in our own lives. So the late great Rabbi Jonathan Sachs inspired me to consider this Torah portion in a different light. Yes, miracles, but he says three times in this week's Torah portion, the Israelites are instructed to teach. Teach your children about the Exodus. And when your child asks you, tell them about the Exodus. Tell them about the miracles. Tell them so that they can learn not to give up. And so the idea of education is at the heart of the miracles and actions that we are responsible for in this world. It is said that when the sages, this is also in the Talmud, when the sages uh, looked around the community and they realized how important education was, so they declared, and this was through uh, Yehoshua ben Gamla, that every town, every province should have a school, so that there is no place where there would be without education. And in fact, mandatory education was a part of Jewish culture thousands of years before it was in either England or in the United States. So there was also in the Talmud, there was a passage in which it said some rabbis came to a town and they looked around. They said, "Well, where are the teachers?" And there weren't any teachers. So they asked the people, "Bring us the protectors of this town." And so the townspeople looked around. They brought the military guard to the rabbis, and the rabbis said, "No, these aren't the protectors. Those with weapons are designed to destroy, defend, yes, but also to do violence. The real protection comes from the teachers. Bring us your teachers. And the townspeople got it. That, yes, we need to protect ourselves. We need to have a strong military and police, true. But how do we really find freedom? How do we really find that which is our purpose in life? It's not through the force of arms, it's through our mind and our heart, our faith and our dedication to goodness. It comes through teaching. The miracles are all around us, but we're taught to be aware of them. The miracles from God are beyond our understanding, but our role as teachers, and we do so as teachers, as parents, as friends and people in the community that will take the time to instruct, to learn and to teach, lilmod ulamed, then you become those who are preparing all of those around you to be more aware of this world, to see their and discover their own strengths, their own blessings, and to make miracles happen. They're all around us, but we need people who are aware of this world, and they are going to be aware of this world through education. So, yes, there are miracles. Those are God's roles. Our role is to act on them by teaching and instructing, by learning and then informing and inspiring those around us. What a wonderful way to understand. This is again from the late, great Jonathan Sacks, who said it's in our hands to make this world better. We start by learning and by teaching. Shabbat Shalom.